Hello, everybody, and welcome. This is Michelle DeForno. I nearly said McIntyre. So you can see that Michelle and I have known each other for a long time, over 20 years. And Michelle, you've had quite a transformation. I can see it. But let's just start back maybe 2 years ago to where you were, or even 12 months ago, where you were feeling, what was happening in your life. What were some of your frustrations?
Okay, so yes, at least 12 months ago, a lot of my frustrations were I was in a fairly dark place, and frustrations were trying to get out into the open where I used to be and be very sociable, and just couldn't get out there to do that. Yeah. So that was my main.
Yeah. What were some of the feelings that you had about you and life in general then?
Oh, feeling so down, feeling like everyone judged me. Even my kids, actually, I felt the same. And possibly my husband as well. Just everybody was looking at me and thinking of me in a different way, feeling like, everyone was talking about me, I suppose, every time I'd go out. So I didn't go out then. I just
because like if you think back 20 years ago, you're really outgoing, fun loving, like we used to have a ball together. Yes. Then like I know some of the things that happen, and you don't have to share any of that, but you sort of lost Macca along the way.
Oh yes, yeah, definitely lost. Definitely. I was in my own little hole for a long time.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I know it was about 2 years ago that we met up at an event out, and can you tell us about what your side of the story was from there?
Yes. So I got invited out to the museum to an auction fundraising dinner. At first, of course, I said to my husband, no, I'm not going. I always declined most things and made excuses of going out. This time I thought, no, I need to go. So I decided to say yes and got dressed, and off I went with the girlfriends. It was full of all local, mostly local people, with a table of 10, I think, most tables. And to de-stress myself, I started drinking the champagne. As I did, that's how I sort of hid behind my emotions. So I had too much, way too much, long story short. Had good conversations during the time, but still felt fairly uncomfortable. And then I think I just power drank. And then at the end, I started just crying, just continuously crying. I had, of course, my husband come up. I didn't want to really know or listen to him. I had my friends come up to me. And it wasn't till you, Miss Polly, come up to me and put your hand on my shoulder from behind. And the only words I heard was, Macca, I can help you, and I'll catch you if you fall. And that's the thing that stuck in my head, and that's hence the reason I'm here today.
But it still took you another 12 months to get here.
It did. And I was watching your lives. I was still, I wouldn't say, I'd probably say more hesitant than reluctant, I suppose, because I knew you always gave your all in everything you did. But yeah, it did take a long time, Polly, and I don't know why. I would never do that again. Don't ever sit on the fence.
And that's what I was about to say. So like from going from this person that hesitated and had to take so long to make decisions, what do you like now?
Oh, well, my decisions I can make in 25 seconds. Anything. Going to lunches now. You asked me if I wanted to go to lunch. Say, yes, I'm coming.
And even business decisions, because I think the
Oh,
other thing too is like your work life has changed, your family life has changed, your I don't know how to say, like your husband and wife relationship has changed, your kids, like everything has sort of changed. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
yes. So my husband and I, it was always, he is absolutely in love with me. I know that, but back in my dark time, thinking that no, he doesn't really love me, you know, and he wanted to buy new cars and whatnot. And I'd say, no, I don't need it. I was just negative. Shut that, just put that wall up. With William, I had a love-hate relationship with William, where this is where it all started back, was a trauma I had when I had William. And I blamed William for what was happening to me, I think. So when I actually went to the doctor and got some help, they just handed out the
Yeah, have a pill.
and I took it thinking, well, if it's going to help me and make me happy again, it's my happy pill, and that's what I believed. And William was only young at the time, so this is 16 years ago, and he would call them my happy pills. And yes, they sort of, you think they're making you happy, but no, it needed to be a lot deeper than that. I needed to heal myself and believe in myself, and that was one thing I just didn't do. And just over a month ago, that was one of my biggest personal goals, was to stop having that tablet, which represented William and that trauma. And I don't have that anymore. And I've come back on my month holiday and I never took them with me. And that's a huge thing for me.
Yeah. Oh,
so excited.
Yeah. So, and now your business is just taking off too. Like there's no hesitation there. I know we've had a couple of calls and just like, oh, we're just making these decisions and
huge decisions. Yes. So the first, we've always had a truck and machinery business, mechanical, and then we made a decision to open up the gravel pit, which was already there, say 9 years ago. Now that the RAF base have opened up with doing big jobs there, we're onto the gravel pit with that. That was a big decision to open that up and go for it, which is working amazingly. And 3 months ago, I'd say, or not even, we got approached to buy a multi-million-dollar business, and my husband come home and said, oh, I'm not too sure about this, blah blah blah. And I said, no, we're having it, we're taking it. So we jumped in, and it was a week later we had to make the decision, and we made it. Yes, we've signed up. We own this business now. It's a quarry in Katherine, just out of town near the business, which all works in together.
Yeah.
And yeah, and it's working amazingly now. And
was it easy?
Sorry?
Was it easy?
It was easy for me. It was really easy for me. And then I think I made it easy for Gaz. Yeah. And I think that's what's happened too with this rippling effect. When I started to release my 8 kilos in the 9 months, and Gaz started getting on the man shake and riding a push bike, and people saying to me, have I seen Gaz on a push bike? It's like, yes, you have. We've never done before. I've never seen him on a push bike. But making decisions as well seems to be, rippling off with Gaz. I know one of my biggest C-type goal is to get my unit in Darwin and one in Yeppoon to start with. And he come home with a real estate pamphlet, which, shocked me. But
Because you hadn't told him.
Because I hadn't told Gaz back then I was actually working with Polly.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was quite a few months, and I thought I'll just wait and see if he can pick up and see if there's any changes. And yes, he did pick up. My husband's fairly quite achiever, really. But come New Year's Eve, I opened up, we broke down together, and it was the best thing that ever happened. Our lives have just changed completely, Polly, and all thanks to you for showing me the way.
And it's the persistence, I think, because I can see 2 years ago, I can see 5 years ago, like, oh my God, I could help you. And once I learned this, it's just like, oh, Macca, I know I can help you. Just come with me.
And I remember seeing you at the bank that day, and I said to you, what's your new job? What are you doing? What are you doing? And you said, just wait. Yes. Yeah.
You're one of the first people in my mind.
I knew that then. I thought, yes, you would have been thinking, yes, I'm going to grab you and help you. Yeah. And that's one thing. I always help people to first help. And then, but through that dark time, I couldn't find myself to get out. So I just slowly on the quiet do little things. But now I can actually get out and help, even like on Christmas Day. I loved it. It was amazing. Thank you.
Oh, you're so welcome. I loved it too. The other thing that I think you did was extraordinary was give the Thinking into Results guide, participants guide to your son to take back to boarding school.
Yes, absolutely amazing. So how that happened with William, worked at Red Rooster. So I was sitting in the car waiting for him one night, and he got into the car after finishing off, and he said, oh, Mum, what are you watching? And I said, I'm watching one of Polly's lessons. This is what I'm learning, Thinking into Results. And he started watching it. I said, no, just wait till we get home. You can watch the whole thing. Anyways, I got home and he watched that lesson, and he said, Mum, everybody needs to do this. And I said, yes, that's right. They do, William. And it was the best thing that ever happened with William and I, Polly.
Yeah.
Relationship just changed. So hence he took the 2 books back to the boarding school. And he's written his little things in. He actually wrote his goals down. And I think that made his decision of wanting to become an aeronautical engineer, and he's striving for he's in the highest of all the classes, and he's going for his ATAR. His whole world just changed. Yeah. And he said, and even at the start of this year, he said, oh, Mum, I probably should bring Polly again.
Tell him he can whenever he wants.
Thank you.
Oh, absolutely. I love seeing it in kids. I love kids just going, oh my goodness, yes, let's just get out there. So, and the best way to teach it to kids is to teach their parents, really.
Oh, Polly, I wish I knew this when the kids were younger too. I mean, with Cameron he's sort of a quiet achiever, but he's picked up on a few things, and I think he'll pick up on more. Well, he will pick up on more because I just keep distilling it in him as well. But also being away on my month away, these things just kept popping up, and I'd bring things up. We'd be sitting around at a table, whether it be family, whether it be friends. And it was so exciting to be able to talk about different things and to ask them, so what is your purpose in life? And to think that they never had an answer, which I was the same, and have goals, and didn't actually know that, it's not going to happen if you don't write things down or write how grateful you are every morning for things. And it's amazing how powerful that pen is.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I have to say too, Macca, like you were a client that didn't really get on many of the live calls because of the hours didn't work with you, but you managed to do it all in the background. You and I had a couple of calls every now and then just to make sure we're on the right path. But I have to say, you were bloody an exemplary student without being on the live calls. You've got to give yourself a pat on the back for that, because it's amazing.
Yes, yes, Polly. I'm very good at sticking to rules.
Good.
And I think that's what gets me through. I like to abide by the rules, and I knew the way you were teaching things, I knew I was just going to get through. And I'd watch the live replays. I might not have been here, but I'd done my growth work in the mornings.
Yeah.
And I think if you need to do your growth work, and Polly, I was watching Chrissy the other day on the live. Absolutely amazing lady too. And at the end of it, when she said, you can't do this on your own. No, you can't do it on your own. And I don't want to leave you. This is the end, Nelly. I'm nearly to the end of my TIR, the end of this month. But I'm not going to say goodbye because I still need a coach.
We've got another step afterwards. Don't worry.
Yes.
There's more or more. And I think, look, and that's me too, because even though we've come this far, like we've had some bloody amazing changes, you know me just as much as I know you. We've both had some really big changes. Yes. But if I don't want this to be the end.
No.
It's not the end of my growth. Just got to keep going.
Exactly. Yes. Yes, there's lots more to do yet.
Absolutely.
I'm already looking at, when we get this big boat that Gaz is talking about now, which is absolutely awesome. And it's going to be a big one. Not that you can't tow this one, I don't think. Yeah. Anyway, and then I'm also thinking about when I move to Queensland and what things I'm going to be doing. So yeah, that's an awesome step. Whereas I never could think about that far ahead. My things were little tiny steps when I first started, little corners in the kitchen, maybe of tidying that up, a linen cupboard, just little things. And now it's so much easier. I used to look at the whole picture, trying to get things done like that, and it just doesn't happen.
Yeah. I think that's remember that saying that we've got, forget the how or F the how, whatever it is, just who cares how.
Exactly. And don't worry about what people think of you. That was my biggest thing too. Yeah. It's like after crying at the museum, I thought, I can't even face the world anymore. But you do have to get through that, and don't worry what people think. Yeah.
So anything else you want to add? Is there one word of advice you could give to anybody that is in what's it called now? Life by Design. You changed the name.
Well, one thing is you need to make the decision. You need to jump in and go with Polly. You need to. Once you make that decision, and the best advice I can give is then to just start believing in yourself. If I didn't believe in myself, none of this would have happened. I just wouldn't have gotten through. So to believe in me and work myself out was my main thing. And now I've got this relationship with all of my family, all of my friends. I can be on my own. I can be around people. I can be in groups and feel confident. I lost that confidence. So that's my main advice. And I actually had a friend the other day say, he's really worried at his age. He's got 2 years to go till he's retired. He said, I didn't want to be a millionaire, but I can't get through with this job, blah, blah, blah. And I said, it's not the money. That all helps, but you need to believe in yourself. You've got 2 years to go. Start thinking about what you can do in those 2 years to finish off for your retirement.
Hello,
that's what
he's watching. I was just going to say something. Because the thing about the money too is I remember when you came in here and you said, I don't know how the hell I'm going to do this because I'm not telling my husband, so I'm not going to use his money. I'm going to do this myself, Pauline. I have no clue how I'm going to afford this, but I'm going to make it happen. And then you rattled off all the other things you pay, and I'm like, ooh, okay, who cares about the how? It will just happen because she's made that decision, and you did it.
I know. I did it. I did so many things. I've done so many things, and I've got so many more things to do.
Yeah.
It's incredible. And And it makes life so much easier making decisions, quick decisions too, Polly. That makes a lot of difference.
Oh, because otherwise you sit there and stew about it all day, and you
yeah.
make up so much shit in your head.
Oh, I mean, I was a reactor too. And, you know, the big example was my latest one with my son locking the keys in the boot of the car. And we're in Yeppoon, and I had to get the car back the next morning. They had to get the kids back to boarding school, you know, within the half an hour. Anyhow, I said to William, "You've taken all your things down to the car?" And he said, "Yes." And I said, "All right, well, where's the keys?" And I'll go and start the car. And he was doing a double check, as he does in the unit, to make sure he got everything out. And he put his head between his hands and he said, "Oh, Mum, I'm so stupid. I've left the keys in the car. I've locked them in the car." And he really, really beat himself up, like very upset.
Yeah.
And I said to William, "It is just an accident. These things happen." And I really did keep calm, and I was really proud of myself, because I would have went off the handle at him. But I didn't, and all worked out in the end. He said, "I'll pay for it, I'll pay for it." He didn't like how much it was. The guy to come and open it. But then I had Cameron looking at that tool that he used, thinking, "Gee, Mum, I could do that when I get home." So it all works out, and you know, other become of those small things as well. So
and I think that's one of the biggest things. It's easy to overcome obstacles and things like that happen, because we know that there's always something good in them.
Yes.
Like, who knows? Choddy could be later on, he might be a bloody locksmith and have his own business. And it started from then.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Yes. Small things become big things.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Awesome, Macca. This has been amazing. Your journey has been amazing.
You're amazing, and I'm so grateful and thankful for taking up this TIR and saying yes and making that decision. And if you didn't tap me on my shoulder, I think my relationship, I wouldn't be together today.
Yeah.
And I think I really don't know where I'd be, actually.
Yeah.
I'm really not sure where I'd be.
And look at you now, though.
And I'm in the best place and best space I've been in years.
Yeah. Well, ever, I reckon.
Ever.
Ever. Like this.
No. And I feel like I'm shining.
Thank you, Macca. Everybody, say thank you to Macca. Comment when you watch this, because her journey has just been spectacular, just like her. Awesome.
Oh, thank you. And I love everyone. I love meeting everyone as well in TIR. I'm meeting another 2 girls today. So excited.
Have a lunch. All right. Thank you so much, Macca. Thank you, everybody, for watching.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.